this idea that it's, you can't talk about how to cut the federal budget, I reject that. We can talk about specific ways to control federal spending.
Give me
And
one.
well, let's talk. Let's tackle one that's very difficult. And
Okay.
I would think my opponent would probably try to misuse and misquote any statement that I make right here. But this is just sheer common sense. If you look at Social Security, for example, we are living much longer than we did 20 years ago and 25 years ago.
Let's hope.
Yeah, so because of this wonderful medical system that's been somewhat turned on its head here, but that's another topic. Um, we need to, first of all, I'm a person who operates off a principle. The first principle is those who we've made a commitment to, we need to honor. Those who are on Social Security right now, that deal needs to be honored as is. Same way with military benefits, honored as is, and I'll be a strong advocate for the military. Now, for those coming into the system, my 21-year-old son, Justice, we have a different obligation, and frankly, a lower obligation to him, because he didn't rest and rely upon promises for 30, 40 years. So, again, with this mindset of preparing America for 10, 15, 20, 25 years out, we need to take a look at, if you go way back to the youngest part of our community and say, listen, this idea of retiring at X age, it might be Y. And that, to me, is a rational approach. And if the Democrats want to run out there and say Scott Rigell's going to cut Social Security, that's a flat-out misrepresentation of my position, because I want to honor the people.
You see this self-determination, like I've got a 22-year-old, where these young men should be allowed to decide for themselves to opt. And I'm asking because I don't know, opt in or out of the program.
Well, that was a very controversial issue, and
they beat Bush up. I agreed with Bush.
Sure.
Bush brought it up. He talked about privatizing it, of course, putting it in the stock market. They beat him up on the head and
I
shoulder
think the
area.
challenge to that is that the system was set up so that the generation coming up was frankly forced to participate and to pay into
Pay for
it.
them.
That's the whole thing is designed on the next generation being forced to pay into it. And so if you let one generation start to carve off to the side, you have to really work through that. Now, instinctively, as a free market guy and a personal responsibility guy, I'm instinctively drawn to that, because I think each person should be ultimately responsible for his or her own retirement. But anyway,
can it be sold? It's like one of those things where there's certain realities of getting elected that it might be the best
Right.
possible thing for the country,
right.
but people
But
won't buy it.
I believe I'm known as a straight shooter. I look people in the eye, tell them what I believe, and that message has been resonating, across the district. And I've been listening to people. I've really enjoyed these breakfast meetings I've been having at my office, going way back to last summer, about 13 months ago. And I'd invite 8 or 10 people to join me for breakfast at 7:30. Folks I didn't know, and I have a journal that I keep, a couple of them now. I've worn one of them out.